Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready to get your fix?
With the Wicks here on this beautiful Wednesday, December 29th, 2021, and welcome to the show, whether that be on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated if that is done. But today's show might be a little shorter, not really too much to talk about or to dive into, other than, I got to watch episode 7. I said episode 6 on the show yesterday, but episode 7 of Man in the Arena, Tom Brady's documentary. His sisters were on it. I mean, it was really, you got to relive the 2016 28-3 comeback victory from the New England Patriots. Tom Brady coming out of nowhere. How you doing? Keep it moving. They get the dub 34-28 in overtime. It was electrifying, awesome, gave me goosebumps. I love it. All right, so if you guys haven't witnessed that, if you haven't seen any of those episodes, they are out currently on ESPN Plus. All 1 through 7 are on there as well. So yesterday on the show, we had to deliver some some unfortunate news of the passing of the legend, the late great legend, John Madden passed away at the age of 85 yesterday. And so in honor of him, I'm going to be watching his All Madden documentary. I missed it on Christmas because, it's Christmas. You're not really focused on anything else on the TV. You're kind of with family, doing your own thing, how you doing, stuff like that. So I missed it. But they are re-airing it tonight and tomorrow. Tonight is on Fox Sports 1 at 8 p.m. Central Time. Tomorrow, I believe, it's on Fox. Might just be Fox at 8 p.m. as well. And I think they said it's going to be on ESPN Plus. I looked all fucking day, okay? Not on ESPN Plus unless they're waiting for the release at like 8 p.m., which I'd assume is something they're going to be doing, just because it's one of those documentaries that you can't just watch it on your own, basically, to start it off. Like, they're doing it perfectly, basically. Like, you got to be able to dive in, sit down, an hour and a half, just focus on this documentary. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to watch it and see, the legend that is and that will never die of John Madden. It's just a very sad event. Knew it was coming. Okay, we all knew that this time had to be creeping up on us at some point in time. But, the guy's a legend. Okay, we play fucking Madden all the time. Right? I play it. It's getting shittier, okay? And I'm sure that's not because of Mr. Madden. I think if he was more involved, like he once was back in the day, this game would be what we all expect it to be, where you can fucking create your own goddamn team with your own fucking logo, your own fucking colors and shit like that. So let's get that going, okay? What do you think, EA? Come on, let's get this Madden, where it should be. 100%, at least hopefully in my eyes, EA needs to get this message, and I think a lot of people have already said this. Madden 23 needs to have the legend himself, John Madden, on the cover. It just needs to happen. I think they'll make it happen, so I'm excited to see what they do with that. He was on a couple, 10 covers to start the Madden dynasty, if you will, and they started going to players and stuff like that. So just an unfortunate event that happened yesterday. So today, like I said, it's going to be a shorter show. We're going to dive straight into it. This is the Week 17 Power Rankings release show. That's all we're doing. We're going to give you the Power Rankings. And if you're watching, you guys, like the past couple Wednesdays we've been doing this, are the first ones and the only ones to see this until I drop them tomorrow before noon. So let's get right into it. My Week 17 Power Rankings. We're going to start at 32 and work our way all the way down to number 1. Okay, so here it is. Starting off the bat, At number 32, we keep the Jacksonville Jaguars there because, I mean, they stink, all right? They lost to the Jets. They're nothing special, okay? At 31, we got the Carolina Panthers. I moved them down 2 slots. I just think, their recent failures hasn't really helped them out that much, okay, recently. Sam Darnold apparently is going to get the start this Sunday. Don't know if that's going to be, if that's going to help them any, to be honest with you, because, I mean, they're in some trouble. Christian McCaffrey can't get it all done himself, okay? Cam Newton's not the savior, not the Superman he once was, okay? His costume's been torn off. He's not Superman no more, okay? So I got Carolina at 31. At 30, we got the New York Giants. They just continue to lose and continue to, show why they are one of the worst teams in the NFL. All right, I mean, nothing really much more to say about that than the Giants stink, okay? Then at 29, we have the New York Jets. I had to move them up 1 spot because they did get a victory over the very shitty Jacksonville Jaguars. But they're one of those teams that, yeah, they're really bad. Okay, they're not that good. But they show and they find a way to get dubs over worse teams, a.k.a. the Jacksonville Jaguars. At 28, we kept the Detroit Lions right where they were last week. They did lose to the Falcons that you see on this graphic this past weekend, but they got a lot of fight. They got a lot of heart. I like seeing where this culture is kind of headed and what MCDC is building over there, Motor City Dan Campbell. For those of you that don't know who MCDC is, that's the fucking Lions head coach, okay? But just a hard-fighting team, a hard-nosed team. They probably could be higher, but, I mean, their record says enough, right? So at 27, I had to move the Houston Texans up 4 slots for their slaughtering of the Los Angeles Chargers. That was a brutal beatdown, okay, that the Chargers suffered at the hands of the Texans. Davis Mills, an absolute baller, okay? A very, very good quarterback. Number 1 recruit coming out of high school, I believe, in 2017, goes to Stanford. Nobody really looks at him, doesn't get really that many starts. I think he said today via the Pat McAfee show that he only had like 12 or 13 starts in his career, okay, up till that, or up to this point in the NFL, I should say. So now he's getting his opportunity. He's excelling at what he's doing. No picks the last couple weeks, just absolute ball, just an absolute baller out there. So at 26, we got the Seattle Seahawks. Had to move them down 2 slots. They lose to the Bears. One of those teams, the first losing season under Russell Wilson there, and it's just, they're not good. Okay, Jamal Adams out. I mean, Chris Carson out. DK Metcalf can't be found after he wanted to go make some remarks to Shannon Sharp. Tyler Lockett's been dealing with a little bit of an injury himself, so this team just isn't what it once was a couple years ago. So I had to move them down to 26. At 25, we got the Atlanta Falcons. Moved them up 1 slot for them barely getting by with a dub over the Detroit Lions. I mean, I couldn't move the Lions anywhere up or down because I still do believe the teams that are under the Detroit Lions are worse than the Detroit Lions, even though the record might not say that. I think performance-wise, it does say that. So at 25, though, we got the Atlanta Falcons. At 24, we got the Washington football team. Had to move them down 2 slots. They lose big time, okay? I mean, they got the shit beat out of them. I mean, players start fighting each other on the bench. They're brothers. They'll get along. They'll figure it out. But they lost 56-14 in a game that, for the first time in the past couple of years, I actually had a fucking shut off because I knew at halftime was 42-7, okay? I ain't going to stick around much longer after that. All Dallas needs to do, score 1 more touchdown. They did that. Okay, now I'm out. All right, see you later. You're not going to win this one. Washington down 2 slots at the 24 spot. At 23, we got the Chicago Bears moving up 2 spots after they beat the Seattle Seahawks in a close victory with Nick Foles at the helm, so that was pretty decent to see. But yeah, I have them at 23. At 22, the Denver Broncos move them down 2 slots. They lose to the Raiders, the team that is above them at 21. I have moved them up 2 slots right above Denver because they did beat Denver. But the Raiders still aren't that great of a team either. At 20, we got the New Orleans Saints, moved them down 1 spot after having a 9-0 victory, shutting Tom Brady out for the first time in his career. They go out with Ian Book, okay, and get slaughtered by the Miami Dolphins, who just continued to blitz their way to the quarterback the entire night. At 19, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, moved them down 4 spots because they got slaughtered, all right, by the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs took them out 36-10, I believe it was on Sunday. So we'll see what happens this week kind of going forward for the Pittsburgh Steelers. At 18, the Minnesota Vikings really couldn't move them up, couldn't move them down. I knew the Los Angeles Rams game was going to be a tough one. Okay, but I knew it was a game that the Vikings possibly were not going to win, and that was the case. But I still feel like they're not, they're not worse than any of the teams below them, but they're not better than the teams above them at this point in the season. Okay, in Week 17. At 17, we got the Cleveland Browns. Couldn't move them up, couldn't move them down. They suffered a loss. Okay, a tough loss where Baker Mayfield threw 3 fucking interceptions or 4 or something stupid like that. They lose, but I still they remind me a lot of the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, and look, they're right next to the Vikings in my power rankings. At 16, the Los Angeles Chargers moved them down 4 slots because they got the dog shit beat out of them by the Houston Texans. So that's basically why I moved them down as far as I did. At 15, we moved the Philadelphia Eagles up 6 spots. I believe this is the biggest jump in my Week 17 power rankings. They've hit a heater. Okay, they're rolling. They are currently 8-7 on the season, looking to make that 9-7 and solidifying their spot in the 2021-22 NFL playoffs. At 14, moved the Miami Dolphins up 2 slots. Probably could have moved it up higher, but I still not 100% sure how this streak is going to end up. All right, they're currently on a 7-game win streak, the only team in NFL history to have a 7-game losing streak and winning streak in the exact same season. They're on a heater, and they're going to continue to ride that momentum, hopefully, into the playoffs. At 13, the San Francisco 49ers couldn't move them up, couldn't move them down. They had a good fight against the Tennessee Titans, ultimately failed to get the dub. 20-17, they lose. I still don't think they're worse than where I have them right there, but I think they can definitely get better, especially if they win this week and they notch their spot in the 2021-2022 playoffs. So at 12, we have the Baltimore Ravens. Move them down 2 slots. They lost this weekend to the Bengals, okay, who are above them at 11. Had to move them up 3 slots because the Bengals are the real deal. They're a good team, and they continue to prove that week in and week out with Joey fucking Burrow at the helm. At 10, we got the Arizona Cardinals. Move them down 4 slots. They're kind of, they've hit the dead end at this point in the season where they had that, 7-0 start. They lose to the Green Bay Packers, and since then they've kind of been a rocky team. Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins dealing with a little bit of an injury. J.J. Watt out for the season. I mean, they have dealt with it all to the best of their ability. The Rams ended up taking the top seed in the NFC West division over the Cardinals, so it kind of makes you wonder, what are the Cardinals really? Okay, they don't have that big of a momentum kind of booster sending them into the playoffs. Probably won't happen, but I think they're obviously in the playoffs. I just don't know how winning or losing is going to go for them, I guess you could say. I probably could have worded that a lot better, but it's going to be interesting to see once the playoffs starts, how do the Arizona Cardinals respond, basically? How do they perform? And is this momentum just the regular season? They're all kind of tired. They're kind of, all right, we're going to make the fucking playoffs. Let's just cool it a little bit. I have no idea, but I got them at 10. At number 9, we got the New England Patriots. Move them down 2 slots because they got beat pretty bad, okay, by the Buffalo Bills, who I have at 7 up there. At 8, we have the Tennessee Titans. Move them up 3 spots. Been disrespecting them, I feel like, the last couple weeks, and I realize they are fucking 10-5, top of the AFC South or whatever division with the AFC South division above the Colts, who are desperately in need of a win this weekend. Carson Wentz should be back as he is currently dealing with some COVID issues, but had moved Tennessee Titans up 3 spots at number 8. At number 7, we got the Buffalo Bills. Moved them up 2 slots. Had to move New England down 2 slots, so they kind of flip-flopped there on the spectrum. Because Buffalo beat them. Fair and square. All right. Mac Jones had to pass the ball. Didn't do that hot. The game before that, he only had 3 passing attempts, 2 completions. They ran the ball right down the Bills' throat, but the Bills proved why they might just be the better team in that division. At 6, we have the Indianapolis Colts. They're on a heater as of recent. I really think Hard Knocks has kind of boosted their season, made them who they are today. This is a really, really good football team. I think going into the playoffs, you can expect them to maybe, okay, just maybe, make a run to the Super Bowl. At 5, we have the Los Angeles Rams. At 4, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. At 3, the Kansas City Chiefs. At 2, the Dallas Cowboys. And at 1, go Pack Go, the Green Bay Packers. Couldn't move my top 5. I just feel like that is pretty solidified up to this point in time. The Cowboys, I mean, they just beat the dog shit out of the Washington football team, 56-14. So they really proved why they are the number 2 seed, at least in my power rankings. And Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, they're continuously winning ball games. So I have to put them there. And then obviously Tampa and the Los Angeles Rams coming off of some pretty solid wins, I'd say, for the most part. So those are my Week 17 power rankings. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it, got to dive in a little bit. Oh, why do you have that guy there? Why not over here and stuff like that? It is what it is. But you guys got to see it firsthand, my Week 17 power rankings. Again, I will be releasing them tomorrow, okay, before noon. But basically this show today was all for the viewers. If you wanted to see, get a little firsthand glimpse of where I put the teams that I did, okay? So go enjoy the rest of your night. Today was a little bit of a shorter show, but there was a reason for that. I'm going to go figure out how the fuck to watch this All Madden documentary because it's going to be awesome. Okay, got done watching Man in the Arena, but go enjoy the rest of your evening. Hopefully you guys get to see the All Madden documentary. Again, it'll be on Fox Sports 1 at 8 p.m. Central Time. Have a great one, folks, and you just got your fix with the Wicks.